Y'all, I was talking and talking, and it had stopped at 2 minutes. I don't know why, but I was talking about the scripture and it stopped, and I was talking and talking, and I didn't realize that it had stopped. So let me continue on where it stopped at. Oh my goodness, this is just like, I don't know why this happens. Okay. I was saying First Corinthians, I said some good stuff too. First Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16 says, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?" And what I was saying in the other video that didn't get recorded was, this is the temple of God, your temple. All of this is a temple of God. What are you doing with your temple? What are you doing with your temple? Does God dwelleth in you? A lot of times when you're doing stuff outside of God's will, outside of God's commandments, such as gossiping, fornication, adultery, killing, it's so many, right? You know what the commandments are. Thou shalt not. When you're doing those things, does God dwell in mess? Does God dwell in that situation when you're talking bad about somebody, when you got hate in your heart, when you have bitterness in your heart, when you have lust in your heart, when you hate somebody, when you have not forgiven somebody? Does God dwell in that? I was just waiting for an answer from y'all. But I say no. God does not dwell in mess. You know, when you're not within God's will, He's not in you. And you have to ask yourself, if God is not within you, then what is within you? It could be nothing is in you. You're just walking around. You're just here. No purpose, nothing. Because nothing dwells in you. Or a demon can dwell in you. It could be a lust demon, a Jezebel demon, which can be in men and women. It can be an unforgiving spirit, a perversion spirit. It can be many different spirits. It can be a bitterness, gossiping spirit. It's so many spirits that can dwell in you or in people. So what dwells in you? Have you ever thought about that? When you look at your life, I want to challenge you to start looking at your life and ask yourself, are you living within God's will for your life? Have you compromised in any way? Have you given up pieces of yourself just to be or feel alive? Are you compromising yourself right now because you're not living in the will of God? You're not on the page that He wants you to be on because of your own limiting beliefs, because you're trying to stay loyal to something, because you don't see your worth. You don't love yourself. You're lost. Are you willing to change? Are you willing to make a change? You. Are you willing to make a change so that you can be within the will of God for your life? Ask yourself that. Am I even living in my purpose? Because from experience, I've been a people pleaser. I've been, meaning past tense. I've been a gossiper, adulterer, fornicator. I've had unforgiveness, but I try to forgive quick most of the time. Lust. Yeah, I had lust on me. I had Jezebel. Oh my goodness. It's just like, that was just my experiences. And that was not within the will of God. And there were consequences behind it. So, because there were consequences behind it, that either woke me up or it kept me where I was because I didn't care. But I did care, so I made changes in my life. And I'm in a better place. I'm within the will of God. And all that to say, that if you decide to make a change in your life, you still have a chance to. You can do it right now, starting tonight. You can make a change in your life. You can give it all to God, the one and only God that made the heaven and earth. Let's just make it clear. You can put down all your idols that you worship. You can stop participating in mess with other people. And start removing yourself from toxic situations. And make a change. But first, you have to acknowledge that there are things in your life that are hindering you. Find the root of that thing and pull it out. But you have to be willing to make that change. It starts first with that thought of, I want to make a change. Then you have to apply action to it. So, I challenge you tonight. If you are willing to make that change, start. Take a sticky note or take a notebook and write down the things that you need to get rid of and how you're going to do it, meaning the action. So the things that you need to get rid of and what action are you going to take to get rid of it. Write it down, put a date on it, and put your signature. And then start the work. Because you can make a change today. It's not too late.